FM. Keep the fire burning. Ja Rastafari.
You're tuned in to 101.3 Roe FM WEVI and Bush Tea in the Morning with your hostess with the mostest, Neka Neekes. Be sure to grab a cup and pull up. We're about to get it started. You know what time it is, baby. It's tea time. Let's go. Hey. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
If my body could attack
You tune into 101.3 Roe FM WEVI. Hey, it's Bush Tea in the Morning with your hostess, Neeks.
When I show up to the party, that's enough for me to hurt them. Good looks, good body.
How we doing? How we feeling? St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix, Tortola, BVI, Puerto Rico.
I need you to put in more effort.
Okay. This is Starter by Monet.
You need a check-up.
What we sipping on this morning? All right, shout out to everybody with their breakfast beverages. Oh, well, we getting straight into it this morning. Listen, first and foremost, I want to say a huge shout out to our sponsors, My Lord Variety Store and Smoke Shop. All right, right there in the Barron Spot Shopping Center. Give them a call, 340-690-5043. Remember, you could play a Caribbean Lottery, your scratch-offs, your Powerball, Pick 3, Pick 4s, Payday, and so much more. Also got to say a huge shout out to the Flaming Grill STX. All right, 340-778-6270. That's the number to call, as well as Liberty VI. Oh, yes. Shout out. All right. And I also want to remind you guys, please register to vote. All right. www.vivote.gov. All right. It's the easiest it has ever been in history for you to register, as well as check your status and see how you are in terms of making a decision in our territory. All right. Also got to remind you guys, It's a Vibe presents Return of the Don. Molly Don will be back on St. Croix Saturday, July 25th. All right. At the Queen Mary and Paradise Flea Market. There will also be live performances by Felix London and Banco Bismol. So make sure you go check that out. Tickets are $50. Get your tickets at DPM&M, Strictly the Best, or Cache L'Amour over there in Princess. All right. For VIP bookings, call 340-227-1397. Also got to remind you guys that Majestic Entertainment presents Vogue LaCroix, the sweetest day parties of the summer. One ticket, 2 luxury day party experiences on Saturday, July 11th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right, join us for Peaches and Cream at Eliana B Artistry Studio, featuring the best in Afrobeats, R&B, soca, and brunch vibes, powered by DJ Chubby and DJ Shay. Or experience Berry Lux at Rehab Sports Bar and Lounge with the hottest rap, dancehall, and reggae sounds from Chemodan and Party Jesus. Enjoy VIP perks, including reserved parking, delicious hors d'oeuvres, personal VIP attendance services, hookah, and express VIP entry. So come on out, dressed to impress, good vibes, great people, unforgettable memories. Be sure to get your tickets today at none other than Vogue LaCroix. That's VOGUELACROIX.com. The sweetest day parties of the summer. All right, go and check that out, guys. Now, we're going to cut to a brief commercial break. And when we get back, we have a very, very special interview this morning. As you guys know, Bush Tea in the Morning here to keep you engaged in terms of all this happening along our shores. And it's a big election year this year. So we have none other than Delegate to Congress, Delia Smith, in the house. All right. So when we get back, we're going to hear from her and all the plans that she has for us as a territory. So don't touch that dial. All right. Go get your hot water ready. Make sure you get your brown sugar on the side. All right. Whether it's a tea bag or ripe bush, let me tell you, we getting ready to get nice and heated in here. All right. So keep it locked. Don't go anywhere. We're going to hear some words from our sponsors, and we'll be right back on 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tea in the Morning. Shout out to everybody on the radio, everybody on the dial, everybody on the TuneIn app and the Facebook Live. All right. Keep it locked. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI.
You're listening to Everything Virgin Islands. 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI.
8 years. What's the plan? On August 1st, Virgin Islanders face an important choice. The current Lieutenant Governor has spent the last 8 years in office. After 8 years, Virgin Islanders deserve to ask a simple question. What has been accomplished and what comes next? The street addressing initiative was important. It started under the De Jong administration, a project that should have taken a few years stretched into 2 administrations, which you served 8 years out of the 12 years, and the project is still not completed. Our banking system remains difficult for families and businesses. Insurance costs continue to burden homeowners and businesses. Too many residents still struggle with the same problems they faced years ago. Now, after 8 years in office, the Lieutenant Governor is asking for a promotion to Governor. But where is the plan? Where is the vision? Where is the roadmap for the next 4 years? Virgin Islanders deserve more than slogans. We deserve specifics. How will our economy grow? How will housing become more affordable? How will healthcare improve? How will government services work better for ordinary people? How will we create opportunities for young Virgin Islanders to stay and build their future at home? His running mate has served in public office for years as well. Together, they represent the political establishment that has overseen the status quo. If the problems remain the same, why should we expect different results? This election is not about personalities. It's about performance. It's about accountability. It's about results. On August 1st, ask the hard questions. Demand a plan. Demand results. Demand leadership that moves the Virgin Islands forward. Because after 8 years, business as usual is not enough. The Virgin Islands deserves better.
Sponsored by Forward Movement.
Here comes the Mega Ball. You can win more with the Mega Ball. Pick 3 and pick 4 and you could get all.
Yes, playing Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Caribbean Lottery just got more rewarding. Now you can win more with the Mega Ball. For just an extra $1, increase your winnings by $1,000 with the Pick 3 and a big $10,000 with the Pick 4. Don't wait, play today. Play Pick 3 and Pick 4 with the Mega Ball at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide.
You ready to win a little extra? Then get on the ball.
Must be 18 and over to play.
Here's what the record shows. Governing is an opportunity to deliver for Virgin Islanders. Tregenza Roach and the Brian Roach administration had 8 years. 8 years with responsibility for our public money. 8 years to strengthen safeguards and protect trust. Under the Brian Roach administration, former Police Commissioner Ray Martinez and former OMB Director Jennifer O'Neill were both convicted in a federal public corruption case. One was responsible for our public safety. The other is responsible for our budget. Now Tregenza Roach is asking for the top job? Before you vote, ask who protected your money. What does the record show? Make your plan. Vote in the Democratic primary on August 1st. Paid for by Virgin Islands Advancement Coalition.
Tired of your internet going down? Liberty True Fiber changes everything. Awarded the fastest internet in the USVI by Ookla, Liberty is the only provider who can deliver 500 meg symmetrical speed starting at $75 a month. On St. Croix, True Fiber is available in Estate Diamond, downtown Christiansted, downtown Frederickstead, including Two Brothers, Smithfield, Wheel of Fortune, Clifton Hill, Mount Pleasant, Strawberry Hill, Barron Spot, Williams Delight, and more. Sign up at libertyvi.com/fiber and try it free for 30 days. Liberty VI, your world better connected.
Hey fellas, kings, VI men, yes you, I'm talking to you. Please put down the guns. We need you.
Grandson, I need you.
Babe, I need you.
Son, I need you.
Daddy, I need you.
Every time you kill a brother in this community, we all suffer. VI men, we need you. Walk away and live to see another day. This message has been brought to you by the St. Croix Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated and Crime Stoppers USVI, 1-800-222-TIPS.
Greetings, Virgin Islanders. This is Tregenza Roach. The money to rebuild is here, but won't be forever. And when projects are delayed, costs climb. What we need now is leadership that delivers on time and efficiently without compromising accountability. Senator Novelle Francis and I will create a better system to oversee recovery projects so everyone can see what's moving and what's falling behind. one that you and our partners in the legislature can trust. And we'll always give our local businesses their fair shot and pay them on time so more recovery dollars stay right here at home. The recovery isn't finished, but under Roach Francis administration, it will be. That's what Serving with Purpose will do. Vote for Roach and Francis on August 1st.
Paid for by Roach Francis for Governor and Lieutenant Governor.
Thinking about a move here in the Virgin Islands? At Sea Glass Properties, we're proud island neighbors. Whether you're buying, selling, or looking for a rental, our local agents live here, know the island, and work for you every step from first showing to closing day. And we're proud to support the Roe FM Back to School Drive, giving students a strong start to the school year. Visit seaglassproperties.com or call 340-715-7772. That's Sea Glass Properties, your home in the Virgin Islands.
If your teen is struggling with stress, anxiety, or depression, there's no shame in that. None at all. Mental health is health. And just like you take them to the doctor for a sprained ankle, their emotional well-being matters just as much. Let them know that it's okay not to be okay, and that getting help is a sign of strength. Have you checked in with your teen today? A few minutes of your time each day can make all the difference. Find resources and start the conversation at doh.vi.gov/Gen Z.
From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Rob Carolyn. We've got a weak tropical wave passing off to our south, moisture associated with the wave passing to our south as well. Haze is going to move into the Caribbean, our part of the Caribbean today behind the wave, and it's going to remain hazy through Saturday. And then we'll see less in the way of haze during the day on Sunday. Hazy sunshine and breezy today. In fact, very breezy, hot, 90 to 95. Eastern Puerto Rico under a heat advisory today. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, hazy, breezy overnight, lows around 80. Hazy sunshine, breezy and hot tomorrow. Highs will be up to 90 to 95. Haze starts to diminish on Saturday. We'll see partly to mostly sunny skies and maybe a stray shower. Saturday's highs near 90. Offshore, small craft advisory in effect. East winds at 10 to 20 knots. Some gusts to 30 knots possible. Waves 4 to 7 feet. The chance of rain offshore this morning less than 30%. From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Rob Carolyn.
You're live with Neka Neekes on Bush Tea in the Morning. You heard?
It's AWTITUDE representing the Boondocks, the black organization of noble diplomats optimizing expressions. Neka Neekes, yeah man, you make the sound play sweet. Yeah, people rocking and dipping out the street. Attitude said that. Look how the vibe sweet. Boondocks.
Hey. Good morning. How we feeling? It's a Thursday morning, ladies and gentlemen. You tune into 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush Tea in the Morning. Hey, as promised, we got a very special guest here in the studio with me. Yes, it's a big election year, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, talk to me, brother Bob. Okay. Hey. I'm telling you. Hey. Oh man, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we have none other than she was born and raised in the U.S. Virgin Islands with family roots on St. John and St. Thomas, earned a Bachelor of Arts from the University of the Virgin Islands in 1993, received her Juris Doctor from Texas Southern University Thurgood Marshall School of Law in 1997. All right, she spent nearly 3 decades in public service, including law clerk in the Virgin Islands court system. All right, Assistant Attorney General for the Virgin Islands. She also is the Assistant U.S. Attorney prosecuting federal crimes cases, all right, and trial attorney with the U.S. Department of Justice's Office for International Affairs, working on international crime matters, and also as the United States Attorney for the District of the Virgin Islands after being nominated by President Joe Biden and confirmed unanimously by the U.S. Senate in 2022. During her tenure, she focused on violent crime reduction, firearms trafficking prosecutions, public corruption investigations, drug trafficking enforcement, human trafficking and child exploitation cases, community outreach and crime prevention initiatives, we have none other than Democratic candidate for Delegate to Congress, Delia L. Smith. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, St. Croix. Delia Smith here to join you for an hour of discussion, and happy to be with you.
Oh, yes. Happy to have you here at Bush Tea in the Morning. Welcome.
Thank you so much.
And you look nice and bright and green like a fresh lemongrass.
Thank you. I wish I had some bush tea to go with it.
Yes, don't worry. We're boiling up some right now. So
okay. All right.
Oh, man. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. So tell us a bit about you. Aside from the resume, what should our listening audience know about Delia Smith?
Well, first of all, I want you to know that coming to St. Croix it's almost like a retreat for me. I absolutely love being on your island. The people are warm, they're friendly, and yes, you have the best Johnny cakes, okay?
Hey!
I am your humble servant. I've been working in this community for almost 40 years. Started as a secretary at the legislature, working for one of your very own, Mr. Sidney Lee, who was a senator here back in the late 80s. And when he didn't run for re-election, he was retiring. Mr. Lee recommended me to another Crucian, Miss Jada Finch-Sheen. She is an attorney, and she was the first female attorney general for the District of the Virgin Islands.
Right.
And I remember walking into her office and just seeing this bubbly and bright and strong and attractive woman that is young and energetic, and it did a lot to me and for me. You know, seeing her and being able to work alongside her. She would come to St. Thomas maybe once a month from St. Croix, because of course she's Christian, so she was on the St. Croix office.
Right.
But every time I saw her and being surrounded by these strong, powerful women, I felt like, you know, I had a passion to do more.
Right.
Okay. I went to UBI. You know, I didn't have the resources to go directly after graduation. So I worked full-time as a secretary at the AG's office after Jada hired me.
Oh, wow.
And I went back and forth to UVI part-time as a student. And for most of you who are unaware, coming from St. John, you know, having ambitions to work, and most of us work on St. Thomas because we come from a very small island.
Yeah.
There are very few employers on St. John, so most people from St. John work on St. Thomas. So I was one of those individuals, and while working, that required a ferry boat ride twice a day. And that's from when you start high school.
Yeah.
When you start high school, we only have until 9th grade on St. John. So for 10th through 12th grade, you have to come over to St. Thomas. And that requires a boat ride 7 o'clock in the morning and a boat ride 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
And if you miss that boat,
Then you got to wait a whole hour for the next one.
oh, Lord.
But then adding to that now, being a working individual, it's a 8 to 5. You still take that 7 o'clock ferry, and going to UVI at night meant that your day now ended at 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And then you got to get up and do it all again the next morning.
Right.
So, you know, as they always say, God don't give you more than you can handle. And hard work builds character.
Yes.
And so that's why I know that, you know, if I wanted to go to law school, it was going to be a scary journey, especially for a person like me who comes from very little means. My mother had 9 of us and was a single parent because my parents divorced when I was a child. So there wasn't a lot to go around when you have 9 mouths to feed.
You're right.
And that was another reason why I had to go straight to work, because after high school, because my mother she needed help. You know, she needed help paying the mortgage, buying food, doing, you know, just keeping the family afloat.
Yeah.
So, you know, as I said, you do what you have to do to get where you want to go.
That's right.
And so I went straight to work, continued to work full-time and part-time, because on weekends I worked at Canal Bay, which was a hotel on St. John, and everybody from St. John worked at Canal Bay at some point in their lives. That's just the way it was, you know. But going to UVI was a great experience, you know. You meet professors who teach you far more than what the textbooks can teach you, because most of the, a lot of the professors are from other Caribbean islands, and for the first time, you really begin to understand the struggles of other governments, other people, and you know what shapes their lives and their ideals and their belief system. And so that was a great experience for me. But as I said, I always wanted to go to law school. I never dreamt that I could ever afford to go to law school, because it just seemed like something so far-fetched for a person like me. But working at the AG's office and being inspired by a very strong female like Miss Jada Finchine, it really shaped me and helped me to believe that I could be one of these people. You know, if you see it, then you can believe it. And I went to law school. I got in, thank God, and it was tough, but you know, God don't give you more than you can handle. And really, all of these tests are just tests of endurance, you know. And if you make it through, you basically can do anything. You just have to put your mind and condition it to get to the results that you want.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So after a distinguished career in law enforcement and the justice system, what exactly inspired you to run for delegate to Congress?
Look, I have been a lawyer for the last 30 years, almost 30 years to tell you the truth. Next year, you know, as you said, I finished law school in 97. So next year, it's 26 years this year. It'll be 27 next year.
Wow.
I'm sorry, it'll be 30 years in 2027. So for 29 years, I have worked enforcing the laws of our territory and upholding my oath to the Constitution to be a fair and impartial servant. But in that capacity, you are not allowed to engage in political activity. And the intent is to make sure that the public who comes to you to seek justice will feel as though and believe that you are impartial, that you don't have any partisanship. Because the law, you know, there's no room for that. If you're going to administer the law as the Constitution requires, there's no room for partisanship. And so even though it's hard to be on the outside looking in,
especially in a small community.
Exactly, where everything affects you, you know.
And everybody know everybody.
Exactly. But, you know, you just have to stay in your lane. And if this is the oath you took, then you have to continue to uphold that oath. So there was no politics for me for the last 30 years, other than me being able to cast my vote. That's all I was limited to. But, you know, we Caribbean and Virgin Islands people, we are some passionate people.
Man.
Okay? And so it feels like after 30 years of almost 30 years of service, the muzzles, the restrictions, the limitations have been removed. And I'm a fixer. I'm a doer. You know, if it has to get done, I will find a way to get it done. And so now I don't have to limit that to just the Department of Justice, whether it's the local Department of Justice or the U.S. Department of Justice. I'm no longer limited. I can now come out forcefully, honestly, with all the integrity that I've built over the years practicing law, to transfer that energy, that passion, and that service to my community, and be part of the change and success that I wish for my territory.
So what does that look like for you, that change and success for the territory? What are three things you would say you look forward to being able to tackle if elected?
Well, you know, the role of a delegate is one of advocacy. It's one of diplomacy. It's one of relationships and partnerships. And, you know, to say that there are 3 goals that I have
Right.
would essentially mean that I'm looking at the other things.
Yeah.
Because we have so many broken pieces.
We do. That
Our
we do.
lives, yes, we've been, every sense and sensibility
Yeah.
has been touched and affected by something that
Every
hasn't.
facet of life.
Every
Yeah.
facet.
Mhm.
And so my primary goal is to get into Congress and start building those relationships that I know I have set the foundation for. I was nominated by a president,
Yes.
the president of the United States, one of 94 individuals that serve as U.S. attorney. That's all we have. We got 320 plus million people in this country, and only 94 of us serve as U.S. attorneys.
Right.
And those individuals are responsible for law enforcement at the highest level in their jurisdiction. But what it does is it also requires a judiciary committee to decide that you're fit for the job, which involves a very intense background investigation.
Right.
And so that's why I was nominated in 2021 after the president was inaugurated, but the background check is a lengthy process.
Yeah.
So that's why my confirmation came in 2022.
Okay.
And so, having had the experience of being confirmed by a passed out of the Judiciary Committee, which is comprised of Republicans
Yes.
and Democrats.
Right.
They found that I was fit to sit in that capacity. And then it moves to the full Senate, the full Senate floor. And as you just read, unanimously.
All right, unanimously.
Right, and that was at a time that the Congress, Senate,
Exactly.
and the House of Representatives was controlled by Republicans. So that says a lot.
It does.
They have already seen that I've passed through their scrutiny tests. They know that I can be trusted. They know that I am someone that can build those bridges, because that's what I've been doing for the last 3 years in my senior capacity as U.S. Attorney. And so I think the most important role getting to Congress is to use the resources that you have, the skill set that you have, the maturity and integrity that I've built to continue to reach out and say, hey, remember me?
Right.
I'm this person that worked in D.C. for 3 years with the DOJ. I'm the person who was nominated and approved by your Congress, and I am back now to continue to work for the people of my territory. And once I can build those alliances, build those relationships, leaning on what I've already established,
Correct.
I think then is when I would be able to say, okay, here are my priorities.
Right.
How can I achieve these? What is it I can do for you so that you can do these things for my people? Because we need your help. And as to priorities, of course, our healthcare system. And, I go back and forth between healthcare and our infrastructure as far as WAPA is concerned.
Right.
But one thing I know is that even when WAPA goes off, and it might be in some cases 3 days like it was on St. John back in March,
Right.
it comes back on. It might be long suffering and hot and frustrating. You may lose food and medicine. All these things may happen as a result of a power outage. But at the end of the day, the power comes back on and we're still alive. So that's why I believe that healthcare has to be our number one priority. The journey, we're on the right track as far as finally getting these 2 hospitals rebuilt.
Correct.
But then after they are rebuilt, and hopefully a lot faster than the 8 years it took to even get the project started,
Correct.
that we have to adequately staff these hospitals.
And
we have to
maintain.
bring staff and maintain
Yes.
correctly. And we also have to recruit the experts that we don't currently have
Yeah.
when it comes to specialized care. And right now, healthcare is essentially accessible for those who can afford a plane ticket.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's sad because not all of us can afford
And
a plane
scary,
ticket.
especially look at when people raising their children here, people are burying their parents here.
Right.
Families are going through a lot, and age don't even define if and or when somebody can pass, because we come from a community where things happen,
Exactly.
you know, on the negative side. So,
Yes, yes.
So that being said, just not being able to have those specialized, you know, I guess areas in
Right,
medicine available
right,
to
right.
even just a regular everyday somebody. It's
Exactly.
scary. It's very
Exactly.
scary, you know.
Yes.
And it kind of
Espec-
gives ultimatums.
Exactly, and especially our elderly community,
Mm-hmm.
they are devastated by the thought of going into the hospital, because so many
Right.
of them go in and never come back out.
That's right. Now,
And-
imagine family telling you have to go to the States in your later years.
Right.
You want to be at home.
Right.
You don't live your life. You don't
Right.
serve. You did
Mhm.
X, Y, and Z. And now it's like you can't be where you want to be.
Right.
And the thought of even dying somewhere away from home.
Right,
Is,
and a lot of our older generation also, even if it's not older, you know, if you have to go to the States for medical care, you know, you're leaving your home behind,
Yeah.
your friends behind, your church
the
behind.
things you eat.
Yes, and then there's the issue of the weather. You know,
Yeah.
A lot of people here, we don't want to be in cold weather.
No, at
it's
all.
not comfortable.
Yeah.
And so, even though you might be receiving the treatment that you need medically,
Yeah.
emotionally,
You-
you're just completely suffering because you're away from the things that you love the most. You
Yeah.
know, our territory, and so. You know, the money to rebuild the hospitals, it's already here. The problem we've had is how long it took to implement all of the constructions and rebuilding that we need. So once we get past that, and because that system has started, now we
Yeah.
have to focus on all of the funding that it would take to bring the specialized care to our
Right,
islands.
right.
We also have to invest in a lot of telehealth. You know, it's even in the States,
Yes,
it's quite
I'm
big.
familiar with it.
Right. You know, your doctor can see you on a screen. You know, you
Yeah.
Zoom call.
The VA has it.
Exactly. So we really have to invest in it for those specialized care. If they can't come and stay, at least we can continue. They can continue to serve our population
Right.
through telehealth.
Right.
And additionally, preventative care is a huge approach to keeping us healthy. Before we even get to the borderline state, or we're beyond borderline with, you know, our diabetes and hypertension, cholesterol, the things that give us heart attacks and
Yes,
or
yes.
diabetes. And so right here on St. Croix, I've seen there's a remote clinic that goes around to schools and neighborhoods
Yes, yes.
that tests for all these different health
Pre-diabetes,
issues.
all
Right.
that stuff, right.
Right. They check your cholesterol level. They
Yes.
check your diabetes sugar level. They check your heart rates as far as your hypertension, whether you're borderline or you need to be on medication. And so many people, for the first time, are learning that you're either borderline for one of these
Yeah.
health
Right,
concerns,
right.
or you're already there. But at least it's in time that they can get the treatment that they need.
And make changes, right.
Right, and make healthy changes, and those remote clinics can do wonders.
Yeah.
We just need to expand the type of services, because you know sometimes people don't have transportation to get to a doctor.
Correct,
So the
yeah.
transportation is there. They take it to the public areas, and everyone can come.
Yes.
And we don't have it on St. Thomas as yet, but we certainly sorely need it. So if we invest and raise, funds and capital in Congress so that we can
Correct.
expand access to health care before the problem becomes deadly,
yes.
then I think we would be well on our way. So those are my dreams, my plans to hit the ground running, to fund all of these types of projects that would improve the healthcare system in our territory.
Right. Okay. And I love that, because it's one of those things that it affects all of us.
Exactly.
You know,
Yes.
even down into those who are incarcerated and needing treatment,
Right,
and things
right.
like it affects all of us, and it's one of
Right.
those things we need to prioritize.
Absolutely.
You know,
and coming from St. John, look, we don't even have a hospital.
Oh, Lord.
Just like how we don't have a high school, we have no hospital. We have a clinic.
So depending on the severity of whatever it is, you have to get on a boat.
Every single time. every single time. Can you imagine being in the worst predicament
And
of
having
your
to be
life
on a boat.
and have to still take a boat to take you over to Red Hook?
The bumping
And then
and
that's where the ambulance meets you still for another
The
20-minute
drive,
ride to the
right.
hospital, and so
Yeah.
it's rough. And I just learned recently that when a person passes away at home in St. John,
Mm-hmm.
because the morgue and the medical examiner is on St. Thomas,
Yeah.
if that person dies before 5 o'clock, you have to keep that person in the home until the next day.
What?
When the medical examiner and can
Will pick
come
up the
and
body.
pick up that body.
Oh my
It is just insult over injury.
Oh my God. What if you got
It
children
is
in the house?
exactly. It's
my
unimaginable
gosh. Oh
the
my
things
gosh, oh
that
my
we
gosh.
suffer as St. Johnians, and we stay quiet. But I can tell you that will be an absolute priority for me, that we
my
find funding in
gosh.
Congress so that we can repair our clinics and add to it
Yeah.
a morgue, a temporary morgue, so
Yeah.
that bodies can be stored, because it is just too much. Emotionally, you've lost a loved one.
That's trauma. That's like truly traumatizing. I
It
can't
is.
say it. Oh.
It is. It
Oh my
really
goodness.
is. So that's why my mandate, immediate mandate,
Yeah.
primary mandate,
Yeah.
has to be health care.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. Well, you definitely gave some insight there and some perspective in terms of what life and death is
Yes.
like on St. John.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that maybe a lot of Virgin Islanders don't consider because they didn't necessarily have to.
It doesn't happen to
It
them.
doesn't apply.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
how do you imagine something that you've never been exposed to?
Right.
You know?
And we St. John, we're quiet people.
Yeah.
But
Definitely, I can say that.
I am not one of the quiet ones.
Good.
Okay. And when I find
Me either.
when I find something that
Oh,
shakes
man.
me, I am
Right.
ready to move mountains.
Right.
And
Okay.
as a second, because you asked for three, of course, we do have to fix our infrastructure, because all
Absolutely.
these things that I'm telling you about, healthcare, bringing experts to our district,
Yes.
bringing more nurses to our district,
Yes.
nobody ain't gonna live a comfortable lifestyle on the mainland to come here to be, plagued by electrical
See? And you're done
outages.
touching on my next topic, because that was the exact next direction I was going to go with our interview. Just the cost of living,
Right.
and our ability to even recreate what living in the Virgin Islands looks like.
Right.
Like what federal work can be done to ensure that the cost of living is actually reduced. What do we have available to us?
Well, we have already in place the EDC, the Economic Development,
Right.
where we create and offer incentives for private businesses and industries
Correct.
to come to work.
Right.
And right now, so much of our workforce depends on government jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've been a government employee all my life.
Yeah.
But one thing I know is that I don't think the government salaries are competitive at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
And-
I gotta ring my bell, because you said it, not me. I'm telling you, it's that is one of the things. It puzzles me, because how do we rebuild if we're nickeling and diming everything
Right.
that is of importance,
Right.
to include even the resources for small businesses.
Right.
So
So I look, people should be paid a handsome and healthy wage based
Correct.
on the investments in their
Yes.
education, the kind
Yes.
of life that they deserve to live. One that would ultimately lead to home ownership, because all of our parents had homes.
Exactly.
And they were making pennies
Okay.
in their times, but what they had accessible to them were banks that was willing to loan them
Exactly.
monies to build a home. They could afford to buy a lot so that they can build on that lot.
Exactly.
Everything has, just absolutely gone through the roof as far as expenses.
Everything,
Right,
every
right.
facet of life, and
Exactly.
it's like, and there's research and studies that are basically saying that these generations are the most depressed in history.
Right.
They're juggling things no other generation has ever had to.
Right.
Home ownership is the hardest that it has ever been in
Right.
the U.S. history.
Right. And
so,
and you know, as they say, when it rains in the States is a Category 5 hurricane in the
here,
Virgin Islands.
I'm glad you say
Okay?
it. Oh my gosh,
So
yes.
yeah, so we're getting the far bitter end of the stick when it comes to cost of living.
Yeah.
But you know, as I said, we can't just rely on the government or the federal dollars.
Yes.
The local government for jobs and the federal government for funding.
Yes.
We have to expand private business industry,
Yes.
entrepreneurship, you know, into our district. And again, it all starts with improving our infrastructure.
Correct.
Because right now, the cost of the number one complaint for private businesses or even those who come under the EDC program is that they cannot afford to do business here in
At
the
all.
territory.
Right.
We just recently, I was listening to a hearing for IRB, a budget hearing before the legislature,
Yes.
and I almost fell off my feet when I learned that 2 of our EDC companies left the territory to the tune of $40 million in taxes that our IRB would collect. We need hundreds of millions of dollars. Instead, we're losing. So we have to look at these companies and find out, as they would say, do a autopsy to find out why did you leave our territory? What was so missing from life here, the quality of life here, that you decided, even though you're being given tax breaks, okay, to operate in our territory, you think it was better to leave than to stay here. We have to do these autopsies.
And if they're feeling like that, imagine the locals on every level.
Right.
You find families,
Right.
small businesses.
Yes. So those are jobs that were lost when those
Yes.
companies left.
Yes.
Revenues for our internal revenue services.
Yes.
And it's really sad. So it behooves us to figure out where we went wrong and to turn it around, because we need to be incentivizing and encouraging and making it easy for people to do business here. We also need to find funding that will help entrepreneurs, local entrepreneurs, to start up their business.
Yeah.
I see, you know, I walk around Christianstead. I see so many young Christians. You know, my favorite shop is the one that sell the Bob Marley T-shirts and Company Street. Every time I used to come over for work, my son expect me to buy another T-shirt. Okay, and I used to tell him, Noah, these T-shirt is $30, you know. But you know, giving that young woman $30 was like giving her $100 because she is working for herself. And it was just such a pride to go in and see her every time. And then I would fuss if she didn't have anything new for me to buy because I had everything else before. But that's amazing to see the entrepreneurship, the spirit, and imagine if there were funding to help startups for young people.
Listen, and people have ideas. People have, you know, different things that they would like to try. They learn different trades, even those who live in the States and want to come home and start something.
Exactly.
So many opportunities, but it's so hard. And so many come home, you know. We have a lot that have come home. They had their kids and they decided, oh, well, you know what, let me try making it at home because I would really like for them to raise where I was raised. And then within a few years, they're up and they're gone again. Because it's just
it's too hard. It's too hard, and we have to make it easy. And as far as, you know, our prices, you know, we look, St. Croix, you know, you guys are so blessed when it comes to the quality of the soil on this island and the things that grow here and how easily they grow. And you know how deeply you're connected to the earth. And agriculture is just, I think it's one of our saving graces. You know, St. Croix should be feeding the Virgin Islands.
St. Croix could feed the region.
Exactly. And we have farming in Bordeaux and St. Thomas, but you know that we have the challenges with the hillsides because that's all we have on St. Thomas and St. John, a bunch of hills. But imagine if the farmers on St. Thomas and St. Croix can combine their efforts and grow and feed us. Those are things that we would not have to buy on the mainland. Fresher, cleaner, organic.
Make it a part of the tourism experience.
Exactly. You know, and exactly. And so I was telling this joke that the last time I was on St. Croix, this gentleman offered me some, what do you call it, passion fruit. And when he gave me the passion fruit, I thought it was an orange. Because it was so big, and
oh my goodness!
I mean, our passion fruits on St. Thomas is about the size of a plum.
Listen,
this thing was the size of an orange, just beautiful and filled with passion fruit juice.
I see a mango big like a coconut.
Oh my gosh!
I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness! And then don't even let me get started on the mangoes. I got so much mangoes on St. Croix. We and St. Thomas, we got to go to the market to buy mangoes.
Oh no!
Okay.
And I remember I was growing up on St. Thomas, and we didn't have to. I remember being able to stop at the little booths them, and I remember by the time I was getting ready to graduate from high school, that was like a thing you don't see anymore at all.
Exactly.
And I was like, where? How did we get so far from this? Oh my goodness! In the morning, I remember driving to go to elementary school. You could buy everything from hot tea, bread, newspaper on the side of the road. It was like, oh my goodness! Now, not so much.
I really would like to see our farming industry become a commercial one, where we can use those foods to keep ourselves healthier and to really get our farming industry going. So agricultural funding that would expand that industry, that would bring the cost of living, the cost of food down, and it also would have, the quality of making us healthier, and so bringing more businesses, growing our own food, eating our own food. And, when businesses come, then, we also have more money that's being paid into the system. Also expanding programs that would build homes instead of, repairing our housing community, build individual homes so people can get that sense of ownership and pride. There's nothing like owning your own home. And so we just need to build more homes, individual homes.
And commercial spaces. Because
that's
Lord
true.
knows.
That's true.
We need commercial spaces.
Well, I drove through Frederiksted yesterday. And Frederiksted is a mecca when it comes to...
Isn't it though?
Yes.
But so much of it is like untouched for so long. It's like you can see the potential, but it's like the work they're gonna have to be put into some of these spaces just to get them,
But it's either revitalize them or keep them in the stage that they're in. And so the lesser of evils is to restore these beautiful structures, Danish structures, and use them to build up Frederiksted. You have the ships that are coming in already, and it would be great to see these streets back to life the way they were, when they were originally built. So, I really live to see the day when Frederiksted can be restored to its old glory. I see a lot of that is happening in Christiansted.
Right.
So it's time to take that attitude to Frederiksted.
All right, guys, we're going to cut to a brief commercial break. We're going to hear some words from some of our sponsors. We have candidate to Congress, Delia Smith, number 2 on the ballot. All right, she is here with us in the studio. All right, we getting some Bush tea in just a bit. Keep it locked right here on 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and Bush tea in the morning. Don't touch that dial.
Is Donna Fred Gregory, your Democratic candidate for governor. Small businesses in the territory are being squeezed by subcontractor agreements that delay their payments until the prime contractor is paid. This policy creates an undue hardship and strain on our local business and our economy. We commit to partner with our business community to build fair solutions and expedite payment because small businesses are the backbone of this community. Enough is enough. Time for results. On August 1st, vote Donna Fred Gregory for governor and Rodney Moorhead for lieutenant governor.
What you think about Donna? Be sure about Donna. Positive about Donna. We voting for Donna. She will run things better. We need Donna for governor.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG.
Mobile and true fiber. Some things are better together. A mobile phone and true fiber. Now everyone is happy, cause they have a mobile phone and true fiber. Better together, we are. Better together, we are. Better together, mobile.
connected.
Hey, hon, have you checked out Precision Auto Parts? They have everything you need for your car.
Is that the new auto parts store where cars only used to be by 5 corners?
Yes, they offer the widest variety of domestic and foreign parts. From oil to batteries, filters to lawnmowers and trimmer accessories, they have it all.
Wow, that's amazing. I heard they had the lowest prices in town too.
Absolutely. Plus, their customer service is top notch. They really know their stuff.
For all your automobile accessory needs, visit Precision Auto Parts. Don't settle for anything less than the best. Call them today at 340-773-7276.
Precision Auto Parts, your one-stop shop for quality auto parts at unbeatable prices. Precision Auto Parts, for a smoother ride.
Is your Homer business ready for a fresh new look? Phantom Eyes LLC has got you covered from top to bottom. From professional painting and power washing to tiling, masonry, cistern services, and deep cleaning, even yard cleanup. Phantom Eyes LLC does it all, and they do it right. We bring precision, reliability, and an eye for detail to every project. Big job or small job, your property is our priority. Call 340-226-3610 today and let Phantom Eyes LLC transform your space. Phantom Eyes LLC. If you can imagine it, we can improve it.
As a veteran, I have extraordinary admiration and respect for those who dedicate their lives to public service to the communities and to our territory. At the same time, we must recognize that our politics, our government, and our institutions have too often failed us, the people, culminating in this moment of crisis. Healthcare, water, infrastructure, schools. As we look ahead, we must be willing to pursue change through different methods and different thinking, committed to our same values and principles, all while offering practical solutions as we manage our future for effective governance. I know Kurt Viele will fight fearlessly for our island and for this territory. He believes in the betterment of our people, fairness and dignity of all. Vote to re-elect Senator Kurt Viele to remain in the fight for all of us. Early voting takes place on July 20th to the 29th, and primary election is on August 1st. Vote number 5, Kurt Viele.
Paid for by friends of Kurt Viele to the Senate.
Your new beauty destination, The Makeup Bar, featuring premium makeup and skincare brands you love. Visit us at Five Corners Plaza on St. Croix. Open Thursday to Saturday, 12 to 7 p.m. The Makeup Bar, because everyone deserves to feel beautiful.
Armstrong Ice Cream St. Croix, serving up sweetness family style in Frederickstead. Come cool on down with island ice cream flavors you love. Pumpkin and Bailey's for Thanksgiving vibes. Sweet guava berry for Christmas time. And all year round, we're serving up lemongrass, soursop, gooseberry, guava, passion fruit, and so much more. Amazing and refreshing taste in every scoop. Hungry? You'll love the deli. Veggie beef burgers, hot off the grill. Cheesy quesadillas, done just right. Hours nice and easy. Tuesday to Saturday, 7 to 7 with the deli serving until 2:30 p.m. And Sundays serving ice cream 11 to 7 p.m. Give us a call, 340-772-1919. Armstrong Ice Cream. Cool vibes, sweet flavors, island style. Need construction work done? Call the team that's ready to build, repair, and transform your space. SAB Construction. From strong masonry work to smooth drywall and sheetrock installation, beautiful tile settings, and clean professional painting services, SAB Construction is here to meet all your needs. Reliable service, quality results, and affordable prices, and free estimates too. Call today, 340-205-6101, or email at sabconstruction43@gmail.com. That's JB Construction, building island greatness, one project at a time.
The new 101.3 Roe FM.
Hip hop.
The most hip hop.
WEVI, Frederick said, Christian said, St. Croix.
#1 station in the world. I knew it.
Alima Rose Station.
Hey St. Croix, listen up. Your favorite spot, formerly known as Spicy Grill, is still turning up the heat as the Flaming Grill. Same flavors you love, now with more options. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. You can't miss it. We've got barbecue chicken, baby back ribs, pork chops, lamb chops, ribeye, and New York steak. Plus, fresh grilled salmon, mahi-mahi, and shrimp. And don't sleep on those daily specials. Kankin butter sauce, rich oxtail, Tuesday roti, and so much more. Always cooked just right. Burger lovers, you're covered. Chicken, steak, salmon, dolphin, veggie burgers with fries, wraps, wings, salads, hot sides, the whole lineup. Open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located across from the Agricultural Fairgrounds on the road headed to the BMV. Call ahead 340-778-6270 and follow us on Facebook. Same roots, a whole new fire.
You already know this your boy T-Ron. T-Ron name so nice that you gotta say it twice, and I am 101.3 Roe FM, right about now.
Standing tall, and you hear the people call. From St. John, St. Thomas, straight to St. Croix Shore. She building hope, she opening door, maturity and integrity. Leadership for you and me. She know the struggle, she know the land. Steady heart and helping hand. Truth in service, strength in voice. Delia Smith, the people's choice. Who you trust? Delia. Who's standing strong? Delia. Who lead with integrity? Delia. For delegate to Congress, we are here to call. Delia Smith, standing strong for all. Virgin Islands, lift your voice. Vote Delia Smith. The people's choice. Vote Delia Smith. Vote your voice. Delia Smith. The people's choice.
Oh man.
This is VI Star Boy Bugsy Bugs Busy Bee, and it's all about the Bush Tea in the morning show. I get my Bush Tea power on there. Hey DJ DJ, hey Neka Neekes, how we go? 101.3 Roe FM.
It is that. It's 101.3, baby. And we're back. It's Bush Tea in the morning. Oh, man. Listen. Delia. Lord have mercy. That was one going to jingle there. You give me what? Okay.
I see your hair walking up.
Man, give me in the vibe. Give me in the spirit. Okay. Oh, man. I love that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So,
yes.
and I think that's the fun side of election season.
Exactly.
You get all the things that ring bells.
Right.
You know, you get the jingles and oh man, the little sing-alongs. So.
Right. It's amazing. It really is. As you said, that's the fun part. Then the hard work really begins.
Right. Exactly. You know, but congrats and shout out to whoever put that one together for you because
thank you.
That's very catchy. I like that.
Thank you.
So, having served as U.S. Attorney, what lessons have you learned about crime in the Virgin Islands, as well as what will influence your work in Congress? Because the Lord knows we got a lot going on where that's concerned.
Well, one thing, sometimes I hear or see comments on the internet that absolutely blows my mind.
I know.
They'll say things like, yeah, she sent our men to jail and she this and all she to do is send people to jail. Let me tell you something. I have never sent anyone to jail. The role, as I said, as a prosecutor is to take an oath to uphold laws, the laws of the Virgin Islands and the laws of the United States. You will never know me unless you're in a courtroom. That's where I do my work. There's no reason for you to be in a courtroom. That's a choice that someone made. And I don't send our young men to jail. We have certain people in our community who made bad choices. And the choices they have made they're dealing with the legal consequences.
Right.
And what is even more alarming is that when we have crime in our community, you look at the story on the consortium in the Daily News or even on Facebook, the outcry is so loud. It is so compelling. It's strong. Somebody was killed. You know, we were just talking that you knew the parent of the young boy who was killed
14-year-old.
on St. Thomas, shot. My son is 16. I can't imagine.
Shot at 14.
Exactly. Gun violence in our community for a child. So I ask my people, do you think that the person or persons who took that baby's life should continue to walk among us only to commit even worse crimes? So where is your conscience when you're saying that all I do is put people in jail? Where is your conscience then when the law says you have consequences for heinous crimes? Look, I don't think about the crime in our territory as putting people away. I think about the victims, the mother who lost her child. When I was at the AG's office, I did domestic violence prosecution and sexual assault, including rape. I don't know how many of us have seen a man or a woman who has been beaten beyond recognition in a domestic violence relationship. But you know how many of them I've seen? Thousands over my years of service. I don't know how many of us have had to deal with a victim whose soul, her very soul, has been ripped from her because she was sexually assaulted or raped in a violent attack. But I have. That's the work I chose to do, to bring whatever peace. And you could never bring back the quality of life that a person had, a victim had, before he or she was a victim of a crime. You could never bring it back. But you know what you can do? You can give them a path forward by saying, at least the person who did this to me paid for his sins. And so I always ask my community, think of the victim. Don't think of the person who committed the crime. Think of the victim. And unfortunately, it takes too long sometimes for crimes to come to court. So we tend to forget. Okay, we just give them a pass. But that victim who was impacted and their family member and the people who lost loved ones, they will never forget. And so you have to think of crime and solving crimes from the perspective of the victim and restoring the quality of life, because any of us can be afflicted by crime. And if you were afflicted by crime, you would want me to be on that case. Okay, because I'm going to take everything I have inside of me to bring to you what you deserve from the legal justice system. And what I feel about our legal justice system or crime in the territory, the one thing I've never done, and you can talk to any defendant that I've encountered, I don't judge people. Because as they say, but for the grace of God, any of us could be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right.
And that's on either end. You can have a friend, you're in a vehicle, you driving, you going to the club, and that person gets pulled over. And in that vehicle is a barrage of unlicensed firearms that we know.
You're implicated.
Exactly. So, that's being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so all of us can innocently be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But judging people, you never judge people. You just do your job and treat everyone with respect, and that's what I have done. And living in a community where crime and gun violence is just, we have per capita a little more than 85,000 people living here, and we've already had 25 homicides in a 6-month period. That is beyond alarming. We have to do better, and those crimes affect me too. I don't think about punishment. I think about the loss of that life and the people who are going to suffer that are left behind to deal with the loss, because I'm human too. And another thing I want people to remember is that it's not young people going to jail. It is a criminal who's going to jail. And when that happens to you or your family, you would want the same level of attention, commitment, and dedication to restoring law and order in our territory. As for, being a delegate now, okay, one thing I always used to hear Judge Gomez say, he was a chief judge in the district court that who presided over the cases that I was involved in, and he would say the one commonality he finds or he found in criminal cases is that it most often involved young men. And in the overwhelming majority of those cases, these are kids who did not finish high school.
Wow.
Okay, so our community, we're failing our children.
Yeah, big time.
It's and there are many federal programs that are intended to be outreach so that we can reach our children before they make poor decisions.
But what are the actual plans though? Because we like you said, we already have federal programs in play, and still we're dealing with this outcry. The education system is there; they're going to schools, but they're not finishing. So where are the gaps, and where can we fill them? What is the actual plan to tackle this crime issue?
Well, I think as you said, even though money is here, you could never hurt from having more of it.
Right.
And so one of the things I see is sorely lacking is bridging the gap between the federal funding and the local government.
Right.
It has to become a mandate for the local government because you could fight for all the money you want.
True.
But if that money is not put to good use, and the good use comes in with the implementation of programs by the local government, the executive, the legislative branch, the judicial branch.
Right.
So that's where I plan to spend so much of my time.
Yes.
Making sure that I am a part of the discussion on the ground, not just up there fighting for money.
Right.
We've had a representative who has fought for monies. That's what all of our representatives do.
Right.
So it's more about making sure that you have a seat at the table here in the Virgin Islands with our local leadership, whether it's the governor, the senators, the teachers, the firemen, the policemen, having a seat at the table to make sure that they know what these resources is, that they apply for them, and that they implement a system where they're going to reach the intended target. So sometimes it almost feels like there's more work to be done here.
Right.
Bridging the gap between these different areas of government, so that we are as a united force, we're making sure that these objectives are being met. But for the immediate future, it's going to have to be that type of collaboration. We have to come together. We have to make sure that the left hand is talking to the right.
Yes.
And I'm going to definitely make myself available, whether they want me or not, to say I need a seat at the table. I need to see these programs implemented. I want to talk to my teachers. I want to talk to our law enforcement officers and our every agency, executive and otherwise, to make sure that they understand it's not about just fighting for the money. That's one step. The next step has to be being on the ground. And another thing I plan to do is to engage the community. Because an informed community, especially one like St. Croix, nothing gonna go past the community. If the community is informed and educated and knows what these programs are, how much money here, when it comes, how it's supposed to be used, what's the deadline to use it, can you imagine having that level of force and support behind you?
So how do you intend on making that happen? How would constituents know whether you're actually delivering on promises, accountability measures that would be put into place? Because I love that you mentioned that communication is big. And it's one of those things that the community has lost a lot of faith in when it comes to our leadership.
Well, showing up.
Yeah.
Showing up, inviting people to town halls, regular town halls, not just once every 6 months or
when
just
something happens.
Yes, no, showing up regularly, building that in to the system of leadership so that people can be heard and that I can inform them on what my objectives are, what successes I've made. Because, we all do press releases, right?
Yeah.
But not everybody reads a press release. But if I tell you you can come to this arena and we can talk about certain things and you can express what your concerns
Correct.
and views are,
Exactly.
then we are all now on the same page. I mean, you're never going to have 100% satisfaction.
True.
But the masses, I believe, once they're informed and educated and they know that, I'm fighting for them not only in Washington, but here in St. Croix, in St. Thomas, in St. John.
Yes.
And, I understand that I'm really biting off a big pill. But hey, I never had it easy in my life.
True.
I've always been met with, what seemed like insurmountable challenges, but hard work and just keeping my eye on the prize have always brought me success, and I've been able to deliver for my community.
Absolutely. All right. Well, tell me, let our listening audience know how they can get in contact with you, how they can follow you.
Sure. I am, again, Delia Smith. I'm number 2 on your primary ballot for delegate to Congress. I'm a native of St. John, a mother, a grandmother. I am a daughter who has been blessed with the privilege of caring for my 93-year-old mother. And I am also your public servant. I've worked in every capacity from entry level to the top as U.S. Attorney. And I know that over these years, the almost 40 years that I've worked, all in local government, all here in the territory, but for almost 3 years when I was in D.C. working for Maine Justice, it was all for my people. My heart is my life. And my life is my service. And I just want to continue to serve you. You don't have to listen to what I say I've done. You can Google, you can do your own research. None of this is fabrication. It's not conjecture, it's not speculation, it's not fluff. It's real. This is what I've done. And I think that if you're going to trust somebody to carry the message of this territory to Washington, you need to make sure that it's someone who has a proven record of integrity, of maturity, hard work, and most of all, results. So I ask again, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, our listening audience, if you can please give me your support. And, the primary is on August 1st.
That's right.
And I'm asking for your vote. And please reach me at DeliaSmithForCongress.com.
One more time, DeliaSmithForCongress.com.
Right.
All right. Any social media, anything?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page, and we also, that would be Friends of Delia Smith for Congress.
Yes.
And we also have, you can call me on my phone number. I ain't too proud to give up my phone number. It's 240-639-3342. Everywhere I go, I have given my personal number because I realize that if you want a service in the public, in politics, that you're no longer a private person.
Right.
And I've gained so many friends and so many calls when I give up my phone number.
Yes.
All very, very positive. People wanting to be part of the campaign and to support or to tell me, I wasn't voting. I'm tired of these politicians. But somehow you convinced me that you will do differently because you're not a politician.
Right.
You're a public servant.
See?
So for that, I will gladly give up my phone number.
I love that. Hey! Down to the nitty gritty. I love it. Okay.
All right.
Oh, man. Well, it's been an honor having you here on the show with me this morning.
Same here.
It's been great having this back and forth conversation with you.
Right.
And wishing you absolutely, the best this election season.
Thank you.
Guys, don't forget, candidate to Congress, Delia Smith, number 2, and she's a Democratic candidate on the ballot, okay? So we're looking forward to hearing some more from you. As we continue to, mosey on down this election season. So wishing you the best. August 1st, encouraging everybody to go and vote. And show up and vote, okay?
Exactly.
We need that. So love some of the things you said today, and hopefully we get to see you again soon.
Thank you. And again, for your audience, vote as though your life depended on it.
Right.
Okay? And
just,
this is no popularity contest. We've done it wrong many times in the past, and this is an opportunity to do it right. based on qualifications, experience, and maturity. And
yeah.
I'm your girl. Okay.
Hey, looking forward to it. Guys, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break and we will be right back after these messages. It's 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI in Bush T in the morning, 30 minutes past our 9 o'clock. You already know. It's your girl, Neeks. All right, so don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere. We still got some more for you. Get a little bit in the bottom of that cup. I see you. I see you. We'll be right back.
All right. Well, look who it is. It's the Roe FM with all the big tune, lot of sweet. Call it, tell me how you love it. Roe FM is tea. Roe FM is tea. You know what, dance? It's your boy Otterborn. You're listening to Roe FM. We VI.
Asking who is Delia Smith? Well, let me tell you, Delia is a St. Jonian wife, mother, and grandmother who has spent her entire adult life serving the people of the Virgin Islands. Her impeccable character and integrity is absolutely what we need and what earned her the historic position of U.S. Attorney. In that office, she demonstrated her courage to take on even the hardest fights and win, as well as her ability to easily form relationships and earn the respect of colleagues from both political parties. Through her work and as a lifelong resident, she knows us and the challenges we face firsthand. Her most important asset, though, is her unquestionable passion for service, not to herself, donors, or special interests, but to all of the people of the Virgin Islands. She is mature, competent, and deeply committed to giving us the highest quality of representation. This is Donna Christensen. Vote number 2, Delia Smith, for Delegate to Congress.
Vote Delia Smith. Vote your voice. Delia Smith. People's choice.
Vote for Delia Smith on August 1st. Paid for by Delia Smith for Congress number 2 on the ballot.
Tired of your internet going down? Liberty True Fiber changes everything. Awarded the fastest internet in the USVI by Ookla, Liberty is the only provider who can deliver 500 meg symmetrical speed starting at $75 a month. On St. Croix, True Fiber is available in Estate Diamond, Downtown Christiansted, Downtown Frederickstead, including Two Brothers, Smithfield, Wheel of Fortune, Clifton Hill, Mount Pleasant, Strawberry Hill, Barron Spot, Williams Delight, and more. Sign up at libertyvi.com/fiber and try it free for 30 days. Liberty VI, your world better connected.
Are you looking for another source of income while earning an in-demand marketable trade that enhances your resume? If so, the Virgin Islands Air National Guard is the best-kept secret of the Air Force that provides you these opportunities and so much more. Take advantage of these amazing benefits while serving locally in your community 1 week in a month and 2 weeks a year. To learn more, contact your Virgin Islands Air National Guard recruiter at 340-277-8000.
A new beauty destination, the Makeup Bar, featuring premium makeup and skincare brands you love. Visit us at Five Corners Plaza on St. Croix. Open Thursday to Saturday, 12 to 7 p.m. The Makeup Bar, because everyone deserves to feel beautiful.
St. Croix, the white edge ever. It's a Vibe present the return of the Don, featuring the hitmaker, Molly Don. Molly Don. Also performing live from Tola, it's Manco Bismarck. And St. Croix's very own Felix London.
Sorry, babe, I got it tight. Love it when they from the streets.
All hosted by the one and only MC Mogul, with juggling by DJ Spin City, Fire Emblem, Giant Roots, and DJ Genia with Mr. Energy. Doors open at 9 p.m. sharp. No re-entry after 1 a.m. Early bird tickets are sold out. Get your tickets right now for $50 at DPM&M, Strictly the Band, and Cache L'Amour. Limited VIP tables and sections also available. Call 340-277-1397. It's the return of Molly Don. Saturday, July 25th, 9 p.m. sharp at the Queen Mary in Paradise Flea Market. Brought to you by It's a Vibe Promotion. You must be 18 years or older to attend and 21 for VIP. Saturday, July 11th, City of Refuge Worship Center presents Level Up 2026.
Birthing your gift and calling. Get ready for a powerful day of inspiration, motivation, and transformation, featuring an incredible lineup. Olympic gold medalist, world champion, and NBC sports analyst, Sanya Richards-Ross, entrepreneur, social media powerhouse, and founder of Crayon Case Cosmetics brand, Raynell Super Scent Store, basketball coach and former professional player, Tegan Shepard, and backed by popular demand, bringing the laughs and energy. It's comedian Josiah Joe, and hosted by transformational leader and entrepreneur, Apostle Mona L. Barr. Check-in begins at 10 a.m. Conference is from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Your investment is only $100. Dress code for this event is Earth Tones. It's Level Up 2026. Birthing your gift and calling. Saturday, July 11th at the City of Refuge Conference Center. Sponsored by Cigna and the City of Refuge Worship Center. This is a reminder from the election system of the Virgin Islands. To register to vote, you must be a U.S. citizen, at least 18 years old, or turning 18 before the next election, and meet local residency requirements. You must not be registered elsewhere, not be a convicted felon who has not been discharged or pardoned, and not have been declared mentally incompetent by a court of law. When registering, please bring one of the following: a U.S. birth certificate, U.S. passport, military discharge form, DD-214, or a naturalization certificate. Your voice matters. Your vote counts.
For more information, contact the election system of the Virgin Islands
or vivote.gov.
This is Robbie Moorhead, Democratic candidate for Lieutenant Governor. As a member of the Public Employees Relations Board, I know there's a backlog of over 300 plus employment claims pending at the Office of Collective Bargaining. Our unions have waited years for mediation or arbitration to resolve their workplace disputes. This disrespect ends with us. Within the first 100 days of the Donna and Rodney administration, we will fully staff the Office of Collective Bargaining. We will review every pending case with our union leaders, and we will resolve these cases fairly and collectively. Our union workers are the pulse of our government, and they deserve to be treated as true partners. Enough is enough. Time for results. On August 1st, vote Donna Fred Gregory for governor and Rodney Moorhead for lieutenant governor.
Rodney Moorhead, lead the way for a better Virgin Islands. For a better Virgin Islands.
Paid for by VI Now for DFG.
Christie's International Real Estate St. Croix is a proud sponsor of our third annual Back to School Drive and Giveaway. At Christie's International Real Estate, we're passionate about more than just real estate. We're passionate about our community. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, searching for your dream island home, or looking for expert vacation rentals and property management services, our experienced team is here to help every step of the way. Join us as we help students start the school year strong with backpacks, school supplies, and plenty of community spirit. From beachfront estates and condos to investment properties and vacation rentals, Christie's International Real Estate St. Croix is your trusted island real estate resource. Christie's International Real Estate St. Croix, connecting people to property and giving back to the community we love.
Vote number 3 for Congress. People want to know where you come from. I'm a born pusher. What I'm saying is true. I come from a visual. I am very cool. Educating good old school. I find that he can believe it or not. St. Anne Church in Barron's Party. This is some of my accomplishments. In black and white, it's proven. Got 1 million for rum cover over. 97% Virgin Islander. And Captain Morgan Diageo. I want you all to know Number 3 on the ballot.
From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Rob Carolyn. We've got a weak tropical wave passing off to our south, moisture associated with the wave passing to our south as well. Haze is going to move into the Caribbean, our part of the Caribbean today behind the wave, and it's going to remain hazy through Saturday. And then we'll see less in the way of haze during the day on Sunday. Hazy sunshine and breezy today. In fact, very breezy, hot 90 to 95. Eastern Puerto Rico under a heat advisory today. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy, hazy, breezy overnight, lows around 80. Hazy sunshine, breezy and hot tomorrow. Highs will be up to 90 to 95. Haze starts to diminish on Saturday. We'll see partly to mostly sunny skies and maybe a stray shower. Saturday's highs near 90. Offshore, small craft advisory in effect. East winds at 10 to 20 knots. Some gusts at 30 knots possible. Waves 4 to 7 feet. The chance of rain offshore this morning less than 30%. From the VI Radio Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Rob Carolyn.
Believe, na na na, oh, oh. Wake up in the morning and I sip bush tea. Yeah, this Cruciano, and you're listening to the one and only Neeks and Bush Tea in the morning on 101.3 Roe FM. Say believe.
Ay, ay, ay. Talk to me. It's 101.3 Roe FM WEVI, baby. Don't forget the VI, baby. Oh, yes, guys. Thank you for tuning in to the island's newest number one. That's right. What you got stirred up in the bottom of that cup? What you got? A little coffee, a little brown sugar, a little cream. Oh yeah, I gotta take this time to thank our sponsors yet again. My Lord Variety Store and Smoke Shop. You already know. We're here on the Big Island. Also the Flaming Grill STX. Talk to me. And Liberty VI. Keeping the VI connected. Even when the power's out. I still can't get, but I don't know. Lord. But it's high time. Shout out to everybody on the TuneIn app, on the Facebook Live. Good morning. Oh man, camp season is coming to a close this week and next week. I know these camps are wrapping on up, which means parents, you got to get creative. We still got a few weeks before school starts. Have you guys been getting your preparations in order? If not, let me tell you where you can get that started. Guys, you know it's backpack giveaway season. I think it's coming a little early this year simply because, you know, August 1st, which is typically a very popular backpack giveaway time, right? But August 1st, we got a primary, so we got a lot of priorities that all happening at the same time, you know? I gotta say a huge shout out to the Flaming Grill. They have a backpack giveaway that's taking place this weekend. All right, so make sure you be there. Don't be square. Don't say you didn't know, cause Nick's tell you. It's going down on Saturday, July 11th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Flaming Grill. Hey, all right, they say from our grill to your community. All right, they want to say a huge thank you to our future, our youth, and our community. We want to give back, so there'll be a backpack and school supplies giveaway. Okay, so parents, if you know things are a little tight, even if it isn't, just make sure you go on out. You can never have too much because they need some for school, they need some for at home when they're doing projects as well too. You don't have to keep busting things back and forth all the time. You gotta be smart with it, right? But that being said, head on over to the Flaming Grill, all right, for their backpack and school supplies giveaway that's taking place on the 11th. Okay, that's this weekend, Saturday, July 11th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Gonna head on out. Now, if you don't make it this weekend, all right, next weekend, 101.3 Roe FM will be doing our first of this year's annual backpack giveaways. You know, we always like to do one per island, all right? One on St. Thomas, for the St. Thomas St. John district, and one on St. Croix on the Big Island. So the one on St. Croix is going to be next weekend, okay? That's going to be Saturday, July 18th, and that's going down right there at my Lad Variety Store and Smoke Shop. It's not going to just be backpacks alone. As you guys know, we like to play games with the kids. We like to have some, you know, slushies, or I should say the Fricos, and other goodies. Right, we're gonna make sure we have other goodies for them to get as well, but they have to be there. All right, some of y'all like to be like, oh well, I gonna go out and hunt backpacks for the whole crew, but no, bring the kids on out, because it's not just about getting the supplies and giving back to the community. Yes, but we want to also make sure that they enjoy themselves as they, you know, mosey on back into the, you know, the hype of school starting back. So once school starts, you know, that's it. You know, it's work. Got to get it done. So we like for them to enjoy their summer with us, all right? All of us here at 101.3 Roe FM, WEVI, and our sponsors. So be sure to bring them out. All right? We like to have goodies and giveaways, some games and things we're going to play with them. So it's a good time, okay? Next weekend. And then on the following weekend, on July 25th, that weekend, we'll be in St. Thomas. Roe FM will be on the rock yet again. All right? Making sure that we take care of not just an island, but our territory, because it's Alawi VI, okay? Alawi, you know, one-sided thing here at all. Okay, it's everything Virgin Islands. So for people that like to say, oh, you know, that's a St. Croix station, it is a Virgin Island station. Okay, 101.3 Roe FM is for Alawi. Say with your chest. I need that. Okay. So make sure you know. All right. Also, want to say again, please go and register to vote. I cannot stress it enough. It's a big election year. We got a lot of high contenders, you know, running for various offices. And I also want to make sure that you guys know today is Thursday, which means we're having yet another candidate conversation to sit down at Levels, all right, for the meet and greet. Okay, it starts at 6:30 and it's followed by a nice question and answer by you, the audience. Okay, whether you're watching online or whether you're sitting in the building, which we like to encourage you guys, come on out, man. You know, Keon got sushi. He got sushi gonna be, you know, dipping down tempura style. And if that's not an excuse to come out, it got nice live music as well as some refreshments. So head on over to the bar. It's going down at Levels, okay, each and every Thursday to sit down, candidate conversations. All right, they've been going on and they've been quite interesting. The information has been vast. We've had quite a few candidates and still so many more that we have not yet heard from. So if you're a candidate, please make sure you're utilizing all of the media outlets so that you can get your message across, get people familiar with you. Yeah, it's election season and you definitely work for it this year for sure. All right, so that being said, head on over to Levels and come have the conversation with us, okay? 101.3 Roe FM broadcast the conversation live as well. So shout out to West Girl and shout out to 340 Comics because they also have it live. So yes, come on out, man. We gotta have these conversations. You know what? We're gonna be able to make a choice without actually knowing who we're gonna vote for. Good morning, 1010. I see you guys on the chat. Good morning, and Diga Joseph, how you doing? Hey, I see you guys. All right, so guys, what else I got? Okay, let me remind you guys, It's a Vibe Promotions. It's a Vibe presents Return of the Don. Molly Don is coming, man. Are y'all excited for that? How are we looking with these outfits? Tell me, because I'm telling you, the last time he was here, it was a vibe for real, you know. So shout out to It's a Vibe for making it happen yet again. And it goes down at the Queen Mary and Paradise Flea Market. There will also be performances by none other than Pana with his shots. You know who that be? You know who it is. All right. Right there in DPM&M, you know, Felix London himself coming on out. So, you know, feeling some little Martha's Deli and thing going down there. You know. All right. Also, we got music by Banco Bismal coming all the way over from the BVI representing. All right. Tickets are $50. Get your tickets at DPM&M, Strictly the Best, or Cache L'Amour over there in Princess. For VIP bookings or more information, give them a call, 340-227-1399. 1397. The number again, 227-1397. Okay. Yes. And before that even happens, we also got a Majestic Entertainment presents Vogue LaCroix, the sweetest day parties of the summer. 1 ticket, 2 luxury day party experiences. And on July 11th from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. Join us for Peaches and Cream at Eliana B Artistry Studio. Shout out Eliana. All right. And they got the best in Afrobeats, R&B, soca, and the good brunch vibes you like so much. All right. Powered by DJ Chubby and DJ in the building. All right. It's also, don't forget, it's two. So don't just get so excited for just one. It's 2. All right. Peaches and Cream, but it also got Berry Lux, and that goes down at Rehab Sports Bar and Lounge with the hottest rap, dance hall, and reggae sounds from Kimo Dan and Party Jesus. All right, so enjoy VIP perks, including reserved parking, delicious hors d'oeuvres, personal VIP attendance services, hookah, and express VIP entry. All right, so come on out. We making sure we behaving out here, right? It's a day party, so you got a reason to be acting on up. We're going to enjoy ourselves and carry ourselves with some class, people, yes, all right? Dress to impress is bring your good vibes, bring your great people, and let's make some unforgettable memories, all right? Get your tickets today at Vogue LaCroix, that's VOGUE, LA Croix, CROIX.com, okay? Vogue LaCroix, the sweetest day parties of the summer, and the sweet indeed. When last I had about some peaches and cream, huh? I'm telling you. Oh, yes, guys. But listen, so we got some news we got to get into right here as we close out the top of the morning. All right. We got some things we got to get into for sure, because one thing for sure. We don't ever run out, or I can't say we can't. We don't ever run out of things to talk about here along these shores, right? And we definitely don't ever have a dull moment to our disposal. So, guys, listen, let's talk about it. The Bureau of School Construction and Maintenance told lawmakers it is struggling to meet its responsibilities after receiving only $3 million, despite a legal minimum of $5 million. The Bureau is requesting nearly $11 million for fiscal year 2027 as school maintenance and construction needs continue to grow across the territory. And by rights, listen, these schools need work for real. And not because we built up one means that we can neglect the others. We need to make sure that these schools are up to par. And coming out to the end of the summer is not the time to just be having these conversations when all year long little minor fixes can be made, adjustments, improvements. You know, it's just a matter of putting the best foot forward and not making excuses when we don't, right? But the issue goes straight to the heart of public education. School buildings are not just walls and classrooms. They affect student safety, teacher morale, learning conditions, and parent confidence. That it does. All right. When maintenance is underfunded, repairs can pile up, small problems can become major projects, and students may end up learning in spaces that do not fully support their success. All right. The budget discussions also raise questions about accountability and long-term planning. The territory has been talking for years about condition of public schools, and families want to know when students will see consistent improvements. Lawmakers are expected to continue pressing the Bureau on funding, project timelines, and how it plans to address urgent repair needs. All right. So these are conversations that we have every single year without fail. Every single year. Okay. And still, every year it comes around and we don't have any answers to these questions, just more questions. And then when school starts and everything is on go again, then we stop asking the questions. But that's what I want to know. Why do we stop asking the questions if the following year is just going to come right back on up again? And this is why things end up being, getting to extreme points that they do is everything is a priority and everything is only a priority for a time. But if we actually stick it out and finalize these decisions that need to be made and actually follow through to make sure that the jobs get done and stay done, then we can then move on to other things. But we don't have the luxury all the time. Understood. But it needs to get done. Priorities. And what you make a priority is what's going to get done. So let's do that, right? The Virgin Islands Board of Education and Board of Career and Technical Education warned lawmakers that funding shortfalls are affecting student scholarships, facilities, and workforce development. The boards presented their fiscal year 2027 budget request while explaining that limited resources are making it harder to support students and strengthen career pathways. Scholarships matter because they can determine whether a student can afford college, training, or certification. When programs are underfunded, families may be left scrambling for for tuition, housing, books, and fees. Career and technical education is equally important because not every student's path is a 4-year college degree. And it can't afford to be, okay? We can't afford for everybody to want to go to college. We need trades. Heavily, we need trades, all right? So, the territory needs trained workers in construction, healthcare, technology, hospitality, mechanics, marine industries, and other skilled trades. The boards are asking for support that goes beyond paperwork. They're asking for investments in the next generation. Lawmakers now have to decide how to balance limited funds with the long-term need to educate, train, and retain Virgin Islands talent. And that retention is most important, because if we do not get the rest of it right, there's always another option waiting beyond the horizon, and this is why we're losing them. This is why we have this big gaping hole in the bucket, because we're not meeting or matching, our counterparts in under the same flag, right? Yeah, so as long as there's opportunities are available elsewhere at more fair demands, considering the high cost of living, not just here but in the States as well too, but you can actually make a living in the States, versus the cost of living is constantly going up, but not, the rate in which that pay is being advanced is going up much slower than the economy is, changing. And as such, everybody is suffering for no reason, especially for no prolonged period of time. It's like, eventually you make the decision to do better by your family and your loved ones. And, if that means having to leave, then that does. But a lot of people leave not even wanting to leave. Nobody's hand should be twisted to get out of the Virgin Islands. So that being said, let's close this gaping hole, or at least make it a little smaller over time, right? And together, that's something we'll have to work out. Now, the Board of Career and Technical Education is seeking nearly $2 million more to support textbooks, trade equipment, and student competitions. The request reflects the growing need to prepare students for hands-on careers in technical fields that are essential to Virgin Islands workforce. Student competitions can also help young people to build confidence, discipline, and exposure. They allow students to represent the territory, meet peers from other places, and see what excellence looks like in their field. This story is about preparing young Virgin Islanders for real careers and giving them reasons to see futures right here at home. Again, we got to close that gaping hole in the bucket. All right. Now, moving on to healthcare. Healthcare leaders are raising concerns about more than 15 border patients and an estimated $8 million gap affecting operations. Border patients are people who remain in a hospital setting even after they may no longer need acute hospital care, often because there's nowhere else appropriate for them to go. All right. This creates pressure on hospitals because bed, staff, and resources remain tied up. It can affect emergency flow, room flow, wait times, admissions, and ability to care for new patients. This issue is not only medical, it is also connects to long-term care, behavioral health, elder care, insurance, family support, and community services. The financial gap adds another layer to the problem. Hospitals and healthcare facilities already face high costs for staffing, equipment, supplies, utilities, and specialty care. When funding does not match the level of need, services can become strained. This story keeps healthcare at the center of territory's budget and quality of life conversation. Okay, so we got a lot of things that, are on that high priority list. And, the more candidates we have come in and interview here on Bush Tea in the Morning, the more we hear that, everyone is paying attention to what needs to be done. I just really want to hear the true plans of how. The hows. How do we intend to make that happen? What does it look like? Maybe not even necessarily in a step-by-step, but over the course of time, and how much time, a real, integral plan. So that being said, let's go on. We have more news before the end of the hour. A man on St. Thomas has been arrested after police say an ongoing family dispute over Cruz Bay property escalated into violence. According to reports, Lee Thomas Sr. is accused of holding a machete to his nephew's neck during the incident. Family property disputes can become deeply emotional, especially here in the Virgin Islands and other small islands, where land often carries history, inheritance, identity, and generational meaning. When those disputes are not resolved through legal or family mediation, tensions can grow and sometimes turn dangerous. Police cases involving weapons are serious because one moment can quickly become life-threatening. The accused will now go through the court process where the facts will be tested and the charges addressed. For the community, this is a reminder that conflict resolution matters. Property disagreements should be handled through documentation, legal guidance, mediation, and calm communication, not threats or violence. More on this story as it continues, all right? A local advocate was arrested after a disturbance on St. St. Croix. According to recent police and court reporting, the case has drawn attention because public figures and advocates often have strong community visibility, and any arrest involving a known person can quickly become a topic of public conversation. At this stage, the case is still part of the legal process, which means the accused has the right to respond to the allegations in court, and the public should be careful not to treat an arrest as a conviction. Still, incidents like this remind listeners that public disputes can escalate quickly, especially when emotions are high. Whether someone is a private citizen, advocate, business owner, or public official, the same legal process applies. The larger takeaway is that conflicts should be handled carefully, especially in public spaces. De-escalation, communication, and accountability matter before situations reach the point of police involvement. All right. Now, notice for all residents and patients near 1F Louis Hospital, you should expect an increased construction-related noise as hospital construction activities continue to expand. The work is part of ongoing efforts connected to healthcare infrastructure and facility improvements on St. Croix. All right, we made the announcement yesterday as well. Just a reminder for you. All right, construction noise can be inconvenient, yes, especially near a hospital where patients may be recovering, families may be visiting, and staff are trying to work under pressure. But major construction projects also signal progress toward improving facilities that the territory has needed for years. All right. Healthcare infrastructure is one of the most important long-term issues facing the Virgin Islands. Hospitals must be safe, modern, storm resilient, and able to support both everyday care and emergencies. Residents in the area should plan for possible noise, traffic changes, and activity around the facility. The hope is that short-term inconvenience will lead to stronger medical services and better conditions for both patients and staff in the future. All right. So that being said, there's still also construction that's taking place by Lieutenant Governor's main building on Government Hill. All right. Moving forward, the office of the Lieutenant Governor and the main building on Government Hill, the project reflects ongoing work to maintain and repair government facilities that serve the public. Government buildings may not always get the same attention as schools, hospitals, or roads, but they are a part of the territory's public infrastructure. These offices handle services to residents depending on and including records, licenses, property-related matters, and other official functions. Where buildings age or fall into disrepair, it can also affect workers, visitors, and accessibility, as well as the efficiency of public services. Repairs help to preserve public property and create safer, more functional spaces. For residents, however, the key is how construction will affect access to those services. As work continues, the public should watch for any notices about temporary changes, office access, or scheduling. And all of these offices tend to have social media pages, so I hope that they are keeping them updated so that it's just easier to get through. Sometimes people don't answer these phones. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. All right. Now, also weather-wise, the weather remains part of the local conversation as forecasters monitor heat haze and a passing tropical wave in the region. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I cannot stress it enough, okay? The wave may bring brief showers and thunderstorms, but it is not expected to develop into a tropical storm. Heat, Saharan dust, and breeze conditions remain the larger concerns currently. Saharan dust can affect visibility and air quality, especially for people with asthma and allergies, sinus issues, or other breathing concerns. Heat can also become dangerous for seniors, children, outdoor workers, and anyone without reliable cooling. All right, for residents, this is a reminder to stay hydrated, limit outdoor activity during the hottest parts of the day, and keep an eye on official weather updates. We are in hurricane season, so even weak waves are worth watching. Conditions can change quickly in the Caribbean, and preparation should always begin before a storm is even named. So I like to say stay ready so you don't have to get ready. All right. So that and more, guys. Also, a representative from the U.S. Virgin Islands Soccer Federation has been selected to take part in an instructor academy, joining a wider group of participants focused on strengthening soccer development and training. All right. The kind of opportunity is important because sports development depends on more athletes. It also depends on trained coaches, referees, instructors, administrators, and leaders who can bring new knowledge back home. When sports leaders or local sports leaders receive higher level training, it improves the youth programs that we have, as well as the coaching standards, the player development, and the future competition. Soccer continues to grow access across the Caribbean, and the Virgin Islands benefits when local representatives are included in regional and international development spaces. For young athletes, these behind-the-scenes opportunities can eventually translate into better coaching, stronger programs, and more chances to represent the territory, as we have seen. Okay, and listen, we are a people, we are very prideful people. Ain't nothing we don't touch that we don't dominate, okay? And we do it well. Oh man, so shout out to all the teams that are out there representing and bringing home the gold. Oh yes, that big VI energy right there, guys. Yes. All right, this has been yet another awesome rendition of Bush Tea in the morning, each and every weekday morning. You already know, right here with your girl Neeks. All right, earlier we heard from none other than candidate for delegate to Congress, Delia Smith. All right, she shared with us some of her views, her insights, and oversights in terms of what her plans are if she is elected as delegate to Congress here in our territory. All right, big choices to be made, you know, and man, I have to make my choice too. But let me tell you, I don't think it's easy for any of us as far as for any of the positions, whether it be governor, lieutenant governor, Senate, delegates to Congress, you name it. The conversations are, you know, they're definitely happening. And there's so much information to take in that, you know, it can be easy for anyone, regardless of age, background, you know, understanding of the political structure of things. But what I do appreciate are the different many forums, whether it be through jest or whether it be through informative action. I gotta say, I'm truly loving to see all the different ways that young people especially are involved and staying involved and finding new ways to pass out information, as well as stay in the conversation overall. So it might be a turning of the times. Who knows? You know, last election season we had 22 young people that voted, 22 total. Yes, that's 2 digits. That's it. Yes, no fake news, okay? 22. I really hope that we see a drastic increase in that, you know, moving forward. Not just this election season, but overall, period. Too many people lost their lives for us to be able to have the right to vote. And you're seeing in the states where people are now fighting to keep their right to vote. So it's a right, okay? And you got to utilize it. Otherwise, what was the point? We might as well have stayed under dictatorship. So, you know, that being said, guys, it's been an awesome show. It's 49 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock already. I have a grand time, you know, chopping it up with you guys each and every morning over a nice hot cup of Bush tea, regardless of what your preferred breakfast beverage is. You know, we don't discriminate as long as you understand that, you know, Bush tea, lemongrass, all the good stuff is king. Believe it, okay? All right, it's your girl, your hostess with the mostest, Neeks, serving it up to you nice and hot. And that's why you got to blow and sip slow. When anytime you can pull up on Bush Tea in the morning with me, all right? Shout out to everybody that's been on the chat, everybody that's on the Facebook Live. Good morning to you. Hope you guys enjoy the remainder of your day. Stay positive, all right? And stay engaged. It's only we going to take care of it, all right? And it's not you VI, it's not me VI, it's we VI. So that's why I like to remind you, it's going to take all of we to do our part in order for us to turn this thing around. All right, it's been a pleasure. Until next time, we still got Angela Yee coming up next with the midday morning show on Way Up, okay? So stay tuned for that. She got everything that's happening in entertainment, news, media, and so much more. You already know the island's new number one, 101.3 Roe FM. Shout out Big Ron and the whole crew. All right, until tomorrow, mañana is Friday, okay? We're going to wrap up the week. I'll see you guys later.
PSA. Napa Auto and Truck Parts in Croy will be closed for our annual inventory count July 10th and 11th.